Hi, Julie. Nice to see you again. I'm glad you came in. Tell me a little bit what's going on.
I've just been feeling very sad and depressed, and like I can't do anything right at work.
Okay. So I understand you're having some negative thoughts about yourself. You kind of feel like nothing's going right at work. Is that correct?
Yes, I kind of feel like a failure.
Okay. That's completely understandable. It's very normal to have cognitive distortions. We all have them based on our core beliefs. Basically, we have these fundamental core beliefs about ourselves and the world around us that travel with us throughout our lives. Sometimes they don't actually represent reality. They can cause automatic thoughts. Automatic thoughts are notions or ideas that occur without effect or choice. They just kind of pop into our head, and they can be distorted and lead to emotional responses. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So basically, we need to try and find these thoughts and disprove them, showing evidence that they're wrong. So in your case, you said you see yourself as a failure, especially at work, but I'm sure we can find some reasons why you're not. And once we disprove them, you can start appreciating yourself more, and maybe, some of this depression you've been telling me about the past couple of weeks can decrease a little bit. So the way we do this is through self-monitoring our thoughts. You want to give it a try?
Okay.
Perfect. So the technique we use is a dysfunctional thought record. It's also known as a DTR. This technique allows us to stop when we're feeling an intense emotion and figure out the thoughts that are associated with it so we can try and correct them. So I'm going to have you keep track of events, thoughts, feelings, and such every day this week for your homework assignment. And we'll fill out the first one together today just so you can kind of get the idea of it and ask me any questions. Does that work?
Okay, sure.
All right, so let me show you an example first. So the directions say, when you notice your mood getting worse, ask yourself, what's going through my mind right now? And then jot everything down. So let me give you an example that I did last night.
Okay.
So the first section is date and time. So yesterday is the date, and at 10 o'clock p.m., the situation, my husband was supposed to be home at 7 p.m. It's now 10, so it's been 3 hours. He's not called, and he's not answering his phone. So automatic thoughts, the first thing that popped into my head was, he's with another woman. He doesn't love me anymore. He's got to be cheating on me. So then in the moment, I believed it 90% of the time. So this caused these emotions in the next column. I felt worthless, I was jealous, I was sad, I was worried. They're very intense emotions, and it worked me up a lot. So the adaptive response is, what cognitive distortion did I make? So basically, when he finally came home, he told me his phone was dead, he showed it to me. There was an emergency at work, and he couldn't leave work, had to finish a project. So this doesn't support my automatic thoughts that he's cheating on me. So then you kind of have to realize that my emotions were out of proportion to the actual situation. So now I feel, relief. I feel better. My sadness went down 100%. So I have to realize that for next time I have to think more rationally, which is very hard to do in the moment. Mm-hmm. But another thought I could have had is, his phone's dead. He'll be home eventually. He's running a little bit late. He's not cheating on me. And, that saves me hours of feeling upset and worthless. Mm-hmm. All right. So do you want to try one?
Sure.
Okay. So I printed off a blank one. So why don't you tell me about a situation that's making you feel like a failure or depressed?
Okay, well, for instance, at work, I had a very large project that needed to get done, but it was taking me forever to finish, and I was just feeling like I was never going to finish it, and it was really making me feel like a failure at work and worthless, and that I was going to get fired.
Okay. So this was what day?
I was very stressed, yes. This was yesterday.
Okay, so yesterday at work, you said that there was a large project that's taking too long, you were never going to finish. So I heard you say that your thoughts were, you're never going to finish it, you're a failure, and you're going to get fired.
Yes.
Okay, so those are some intense thoughts. How much did you believe that you'd get fired?
Probably about 92%.
Okay. So what kind of emotions were going on around these thoughts?
That I was very nervous and scared, but also feeling very depressed and, like I said, worthless and down on myself. And very sad.
And scared that you would get fired?
Yes.
Okay. And how, intense were these emotions?
I would say almost 100%.
It's very intense. Mm-hmm. And that's stressful on you.
Definitely.
So now, did you get the project done?
I did, and I'm finishing it.
Good. So you got the project done. So what can we come up with for the cognitive distortion that you made? Maybe since you're thinking that the project, you were never going to finish it, but you did get it done.
Yes. So, I guess for next time, I would just have to take a deep breath and realize you know, it's going to get done. I'm not going to get fired. You know, I will eventually accomplish it, and not to get so emotional about it so
Right.
quickly.
Good. So I think that it's a good point to make that, since you know now, like, you know that you can get the project done, so maybe next time when you're starting to feel a little bit stressed, know that, like, you've done it before, you can do it again, and then that will kind of help you, like, not just start the emotion that you can't do it, and know for next time that you can get it done, and maybe boost the confidence a little bit.
Okay, yes.
So then I think that what we can say is, let me find my paper, it's a thinking distortion known as labeling, when it's kind of like you made a little mistake, or you were nervous about one part of your project, and then you think, like, I'm a failure, I can't do any of it. So we need to take a step back and realize, like, I've done it before, I know what I'm doing, it's taking a while, but I can do it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, great. So that's an example. So I want you to take, I printed out blank ones for you to take them home, and then at the end of the day, kind of think about one thing that really gave you some intense emotions, and then break it up into what happened, what actually happened, the emotions, and, like, the thoughts that came up, because this way we can break down the thoughts and kind of go from there as to, like, you know, giving you evidence that you can do the work and you're not a failure.
Okay.
Great, and then I'll see you next week.
Okay, great. Thank you.